I never said I was like technically savvy, technical
Yeah,
savvy,
yeah, that's right.
whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
How's the day going so far?
I'm a little jealous of what's going on with your day because you're already drinking a Modelo, and rumor has it you had one a few hours ago too, and I don't know if that's the same one you've been sipping on like a
See,
baby.
here's the problem with you talking to my wife is I have
Correct.
not had one today yet. It was from last night, and yes, I am sipping on it like a baby from last night and then right
Right.
now. But this is actually numero dos, so
Lucky. Well,
yeah,
opposite for me. I am working. I've got to work out later today.
already done,
Yep.
already done.
I'm
Hmm.
gonna do that, and then my day's over, and then it's beer time.
What are you
But
doing in the workout? You throwing the weights around?
yeah, so I've been doing a challenge. It's a 7 day, 7 workouts, 7 days, and like a couple other things, but it's like a hit class.
That's
So
cool.
today is day 5 in a row, and
Mm.
I have to bring a mate because it's ran by Australians. So
What? Who are you taking to? Are you taking Hillary?
I Hillary has been doing the challenge with me, but I'm bringing Lance. And Lance does not lift
Oh,
weights, so she's a little nervous, but I think she's going to do just fine. She's like a
nice.
Pilates queen. She's fine.
Yeah, Lance is a. I like the name Lance for a female. When I first, because I don't know Lance, but I've heard
Oh,
of Lance, and
yeah.
obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. I knew of male Lances,
Right.
not from boy band, but literally from grade school and stuff, and they were very large males with curly blonde hair. So that was the image I had of Lance. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, full transparency, her name's Lindsay, but she's
Oh,
gone.
is it really you?
Yeah. Shh, for all of our fans out there, this is going to
Yeah.
be very shocking, but Lance is Lindsay.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this a shorthand that I don't know about or no? I'm
No,
assuming not.
no, I think I actually forget what she said. I think somebody like nicknamed her that for whatever reason,
Yeah.
or it just like came out and then just like never went away. But at this point, it's been like 20 years of people calling her Lance. So
I think it works. I mean, if you got the right, yeah, that's a certain personality though. I feel like you got to carry that name
totally. I mean, she
because
loves it.
it. Yeah.
I can imagine calling her Lindsay. Even people that have like known her forever were like, wait, who's Lindsay? I'm like,
Yeah.
Lance. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, dude, I got the nickname Sharon Straws. Have you heard
Yeah. Wait,
this?
how did that come about? Because I'd asked, Lex had said something and I never put two and two together of why that's your username online. And then she was like, oh, it's
Uh,
meh, 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 and I forget what the conversation was.
so, super long story short, we were
Hmm.
at a dinner once with a bunch of people, and obviously, we all know my accent is interesting. And
Hmm.
they said something about, oh, because when I was in high school, my senior superlative was biggest snoozer. So, there's a,
Oh, you mentioned that on here. Right.
right. So there's a picture of me like sleeping in the yearbook, all
Yeah.
this money my parents spent, and I was like snoozing.
Hmm.
Anywho, they were like, I can't believe you got biggest snoozer. And I was like, well, I had mono in high school. And they're like, ooh, slutty. And I was like, dude, everybody had mono in high school. And I go, you can get it from sharing straws.
Right.
And what I was actually trying to say was sharing
Right.
straws.
Yeah.
However, when I said it really fast, and my friend kept going, who? And I was like, Sharon Straws. They're like, who's Sharon? I'm like, what are you talking about? So it literally spiraled into this. And then she's so good at convincing me into doing things I don't want to do that she was
Yeah.
like, change your handle to Sharon Straws. But from then I've met like all of these other folks, especially through your wife,
Hmm.
my friend, that I like their partners knew me for 4 years and were like, wait, what's your name? And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's Alicia. So
Wait,
true.
is this also email address too? Like, did you go the full docket of like everything and became Sharon Straws?
No, I actually hated
Oh
that, which is funny
man.
because even when I like email things to myself or text things to myself, it's
Uh
like
huh.
Sharon Strauss sent you an email, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
so stupid. I'm like, God, I hate it. But at this point, I'm like, it's just funny because now I get
Yeah,
people, and now I have a nickname. I never had a nickname
yeah.
before,
I mean,
really.
that's fun.
So
Hold on a
it
second.
is.
Why was Lex? Why was Lex telling you I was drinking a Modelo earlier today? Why did that come
Oh,
up in conversation?
um, I forget. She was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Lucky, he's like having a beer," and I was like, "Dude, it's like
Oh
11."
yeah.
It was like
Lucky I had
morning
a.
for me.
Oh fuck, dude. No, today's been the long. Of any week since I can remember. God, have I wanted a cigarette so bad. Oh.
Oh, you just gotta get a vape.
Oh.
Cut the edge off.
No,
You
I
hate
don't
it?
know. I'm not a vape. No, I just can't. I mean, if you vape out there, then like more power to you. But I just can't. No, dude. It's
Dude, it's hard.
there's a I don't know a sensualness to like having a cigarette that I enjoy. Fucking pulling a big rip off a vape, like no, dude, it's just not. No, like
Dude, I had a friend when it first came out, like when it was like
yeah.
super popular, and dude, he had it on like a chain, like a necklace, and was like, "Yo, guys, check this out." And he's like, and it
Out of
was
his
like,
walkie-talkie.
yeah, he's like, "Look at that fucking smoke," and I was like, "Nerd alert!" Even though we're not gonna spiral down this nerd alert
No, dude. What? Look at that
again.
smoke. Why is that a thing of pride? What is that,
It
dude?
was just like the cool new thing, and it
Ugh.
was really hilarious to me.
Have you ever
And
seen? Have you seen any of the videos when they would do like the vaping conventions and they would literally have competitions?
no, what do
Bro,
you
it is.
mean?
You have to Google this. It is banana. Like all they look like that. They're all just like EDM rave kids or whatever,
Yeah,
and just they're
duh.
but they've got like affliction, beautiful,
So hot,
winged t-shirts, but like just huge,
dude.
just
Ripping
things of
it,
smoke shoot. Yeah, it's the coolest thing in the world.
dude. You
But
can find so
yeah,
many boyfriends there. It's so hot.
is this where Jerry popped up?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "How'd you meet Jerry?" I was like, "Well, interesting story."
He won a
Affliction.
vaping competition.
I've definitely think I've like smooched dudes in affliction shirts. So I
Ugh.
there was a time. There was a time that it was a
Well, it's going to
thing.
also be. Was this in Jersey though, or was this when you're in LA?
No, New Jersey, never
All
here.
right. Well, it had to. I mean, there had to have been a
I'm
point in
old.
LA when. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say East Coast. I feel like that's very applicable and like feels right at home. It's either
100%.
East Coast or there's still dudes that are rocking those from the local Goodwill right next door to where we live. So they're running rampant out in the
Yeah,
country.
but they're
So
like
yeah.
55 with a bad tan and like waxed eyebrows, being like, "I'm fucking hot. I don't know. I don't know who you've been hooking up with, but this is what's
You're
up."
fucking winning, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, look at me. Whoa. Like, not thanks.
This is this is exactly what I pictured as Joey, right? Joey was the boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the older boyfriend. It was 100% the mental image that I had of when you were telling me about him.
Affliction shirt, Kangol
Hmm.
hat.
Oh
Uh,
fuck! He could have been a poet at that point, dude. You don't even know. That's a split personality. You don't even know.
Chin strap, flavor saver. Like,
What a baller!
he checked all the boxes for
Yeah,
douchebag.
dude. But and you still ended up banging him though.
Totally.
What a world!
Yeah, life's wild. What a ride.
What a ride!
What a wild
Exactly.
ride.
Well, hey, I wanted to congratulate you on the promo, dude. That's
Thank
freaking
you.
awesome with your job. Yeah, dude. How
Thank
you feeling with
you.
it?
I'm feeling so excited. I'm so
Yeah,
happy. I know, like, we always have the conversations of, like, what's next and what's more fulfilling and what's this. And I always go back to, and I think we talked about this once before, where I just want this path that I'm going on to make sense and feel right, as
sure.
well as, like, you can always have the dreams in the background, right? You can always
Yeah.
think
Yep.
about doing X, Y, and Z. However, on this path, I can have a good life and do all the things. So I'm really excited. I'm moving into a role that makes
Yeah.
sense for
What's the
me.
title? What's the
So
title of it?
I'm moving into Director of National Accounts. And obviously, in the beverage world, it's an awesome space. I work with on premise, so bars and restaurants, and huge venues, sports, music, all of that. So that's all going
Right.
to be kind of underneath me, which is awesome. And, for me, I think the biggest thing is that obviously we're having this conversation, or, we wanted to chat about the fears of promotions and negotiations and things
Absolutely.
like that, because I think
Yep.
that it's really important. Like, I've been pigeonholed into a lot of roles out of higher ups really trusting me and knowing,
Yeah.
like, hey, we can pivot Alicia into this role, um, which is totally great. And it helped build my resume to an extent, but I never had
Yeah.
a long enough time in a certain role that I didn't have like the confidence when applying to other roles to say,
Sure.
hey, I'm an expert at this because of X, Y, and Z. I've always been like,
Right.
well, I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So, it was definitely yesterday was awesome for me, because in my world, this is the space I've wanted to be in slash get back into. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good. So,
Are you? I
it's
mean, you're excited about what the job and the responsibilities are, because like you talking about being pigeonholed in the past. Like,
totally
were you excited on those opportunities, or was it more of like,
no.
okay, well, somebody's putting a little bit of faith in me, and obviously, I look at this as whatever the upward trajectory is, so I'm going to do it. But like, am I excited about it? Like, I feel like that's always a weird spot that people get into.
Agreed. I think there was a little bit of both, right? Like, it was, I got to get out of this role because there needs to be movement in my position and growth.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're chasing dollars, because
Money's good.
money's
Yep.
good.
hmm
And I think that nothing I did was bad. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't choose a lot of the positions that I did in the past. It was,
Yeah.
hey, just go over here. And I was like, this is cool, but it's not like really helping me long term. But I just
Yeah.
always allowed, and it wasn't that like letting people, I just think I was like uneducated then with
Mm,
like, figure out what you want to do, be
yeah.
firm and confident in that decision. And I think, like, in my space that I'm in now, we've had a couple of new folks that came into the organization, and I'm a people person, and I'm always going to advocate for myself. And I think just in the last few years, I started doing that more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to putting yourself out there for these positions, you just have to be really confident and come with like, these are the reasons why I've done my homework.
hmm
Um, and in this case, it really worked out to my benefit, and I'm really
Oh yeah,
excited.
man.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
work's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like, and no offense to, because I have friends that do the position, but the off premise, meaning liquor stores and
Mm,
Costco, selling into
right.
Kroger, I'm like,
Right.
it's just not where I
I
belong.
love me some Kroger. Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I get to sell into amazing accounts and work with awesome people, and
Yeah. I think there's
it's
something to. I mean, again, that's exciting about that as well too. I would imagine, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but again, of like they're bigger fish that you're trying to kind of reel in, but
right.
the difficulty, right? That's probably going to be a little bit elevated from
Totally.
what the margins are that you're potentially charging for what that they're looking to bring in. But when you get one of those, it's so much of a like sweeter win where you're like, I just got like
Totally.
SoFi Stadium, or I got some, whatever the heck it
Right.
might be. Yeah,
And that's the
yeah,
thing. It's like, where in my past it was, check off the one win, check off the one win. For me, I'm like,
yeah,
it's no offense to this account, but I can sell 1,000 of these this year
yeah,
versus 20 over here. So it's just nice
yeah.
being able to have those conversations and move into that space. So
Nice. How
yeah.
was how what so when you just got the promotion and stuff, what was that process like for you? I'm curious.
Um,
Like
so
leading up to it, then going in to kind of figuring out with like your company and your boss of like what you wanted. Yeah, I'm
yeah, there
curious what that
was
was
there
like.
was a lot of talk behind the scenes, and I think that, the biggest thing that I struggle with is that, again, I've been like not told to do certain roles, but I've also like been very fortunate that I've had connections that have been like, hey, I've got a role for you, you want to jump into it. And I didn't really ask questions, and I never really had to like negotiate the salary per se, or negotiate
Sure.
the role or the structure. It was just
Yeah.
like, do you want this? And I've always been in like weird little positions where I was like, shit, I got to just take this. I just got to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So this was the first time that I really did advocate for myself. And it's scary, but I did my homework. I felt, like I said, I think the confidence that I've had versus years ago, being able to come in and say, like, I hear you, but I'd like to sit on this, and this is what I think I'm worth. And I'm
Yeah.
also realistic. In this position, they could hire for one number, but that
Mm-hmm.
comes with 5 years of this title experience.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can take the hit, do the work, eat shit in a sense for a year or so, but build myself into when I go to another company, for instance, I can confidently go in there and there's no fudging around anymore. So
Or just maybe you have a new opportunity at your current company too, of where you're like, hey, the
100%.
game has changed in terms of my role and responsibilities. We need to go back in and negotiate it. Right.
Right. So it felt
Yeah.
really good. They, full transparency, they came in with a number that I wasn't confident about or I didn't
Mm-hmm.
love. And I came
Mm-hmm.
back at them and said, you know, understand that this is a role I'm still working into,
Yeah.
but on paper, the title is what I need. And this is what I need to build my career path. This is the
Right.
growth. And I think if we could meet somewhere in the middle around here, I would feel more comfortable taking on this role. And
That's great.
the response was great. And I think that's the problem, is that people get so scared, and then 9 out of 10 times you get a call that was like, good on you for doing that,
Right.
because no one else is going to do it for you. They're not going to
Nobody
read
else
your
is
brain.
advocating for you. Nobody's coming to save you at the end of the day besides yourself.
Exactly. And like in your business, like I mean, we work in different worlds, but I versus like your first time applying to a job versus now,
Mhm.
like, have you seen that shift on yourself? Like, is that...
Oh, yeah, hugely. I mean, it's also, I mean, I think you kind of touched about this. Like now getting a contract, there's so many other factors that are going into it than what it used to be. Like back in the day, it was literally potentially you're like, oh, this is what I'm accepting for a salary based position, or even excuse me, an hourly based. Or if it did have a salary option, like, okay, this is just that, and you kind of take it, and you leave. But
Right.
yeah, for now, it's like I'm sitting there and you're looking, okay, well, base salary is a third of it. Then you're sitting there and you're looking at, okay, well, what's your bonus structure? And bonus
Right.
structure can be everything from your annual bonuses, which can tie into performance stuff. And then if you're lucky, for signing bonuses too, right? And you
Right.
kind of filter all that. And then from working in tech, it's the equity portion of it too, which is the big one. So,
Which is
but it's
also really
all
nice.
three of those now. It's like kind of treading water, and you're figuring that out, and it's a balancing act. And it's like, I remember it was when I got the job at Nike. That was the first time of when they were like, "Oh, you have an equity package that comes with it." And I was like, "What
Cool.
does this mean?" Like, I
Yeah.
had zero clue what that meant. How do I negotiate on that? How that's taxed, do you sell, do you keep,
Sure.
capital gain, like all these big terms were thrown at me, and I was like, my brain just goes and short circuited, and I couldn't even figure anything out.
Totally.
Now it's a different story. Now I feel super confident going in there, and even on this last contract I just signed, it was I very much played hardball and negotiated to get exactly what I wanted. Because tech's a little bit different. I don't know about yours. Like when
Right.
you just signed your contract, is there's no like time limit stipulation to it, right?
No.
Yeah. See, we're 4-year increments, but it's because of the equity.
Interesting.
Packages.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's the thing, is that when the tech is, it's all incentive based around equity packages, and so they'll grant you equity over a 4-year time span, and then they have a vesting schedule, which basically all that is, simplest terms, is grant is when a company basically you agree with the company to say, I'm going to accept these RSUs, which is just restricted stock units, right?
Okay.
So you have an RSU, which is basically like we're giving you stock.
Right.
There's a different form of it, which is in more like startup land, which, not to go down a crazy rabbit hole with this stuff, which is ISOs.
I mean, it's interesting because it's a lot of stuff I'm super unfamiliar
well, you
with
had talked,
too.
yeah, you and I had talked about this a little bit. So like you might have been from an ISO, which is typically, that's like an incentive stock option.
Mhm.
So like RSU is a company saying, we're giving you this. You're getting it. You're going to be taxed on it. There's a vesting schedule, which just means it's a schedule from when it's actually mine.
Right.
ISOs are more of like, we're going to give you a voucher to, at some point, you can choose to buy stock at like a discounted rate,
Got it.
if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So one is a guarantee. One is like, well, you get kind of like you'll get an option to buy in at some point.
Right.
But with mine, because they're all RSUs, 4-year time span, you vest over the 4 years. Like at Meta right now, I vest every 3 months. So every 3 months, I get like another thing of shares that fold into my portfolio, and they're just mine.
Cool.
But it's a totally different thing, because some people negotiate where they're like, I want to go really high on equity. Some people are like, fuck, I don't want to deal with that. Like, just I want base salary and
I want to
hit me
make
with
money
that.
and live my life. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, but then again, it's like it just depends how you want to play it, because like for stock, again, if you have any gains on that over time, then you're making even additional money on that. You're still going to, pay some taxes to some degree on it, but it's not like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like whatever works for you. So
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And I mean, yeah, and I think it all goes back to like the confidence. Like the first time you were given something like that, you were like, what the hell is going on? And I think
now I
it's
can
just
talk circles around it. Yeah,
totally
100%.
And I think that's
100%.
yeah, where I finally hit the last couple of years where I was like, no, it's just that confidence and being able to go there. And like I said, do your damn homework.
Yeah, it's huge.
I have a lot of folks that I've worked with in the past or, very recently that, they're just like, I deserve this and I deserve that. And I'm like, hey, I'm just going to devil's advocate. Like, why?
Yeah.
When someone calls you and you're getting on a call with a CEO or somebody whomever it makes the decisions for these things, what are you prepared with? Well, I didn't really prepare for anything. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's crazy to me.
yeah,
So,
you're dumb.
but it's live and learn, because I've been that person years ago that was like,
yeah.
what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And it's
What was your preparation for this conversation? Were you looking at like competitors for similar roles and trying to figure out like, what are other people making in these positions as compensation? Like, what are you doing?
So compensation wise, I did some research on the average, but then from there, I also took into consideration what I was making / also knowing that this is a stepping stone. I unfortunately didn't have it's not like they were hiring somebody with 4 years of experience that can call Susie and be like, hey, I work for a new company. Can we get a meeting tomorrow? So I had to keep that into consideration as well. So I knew that middle space that I felt really confident asking for. And also coming with like, what does it look like for growth from here? What does it look like for this? And all those questions, and having my numbers in case there was ever like, well, this. And I'm like, I've doubled the sales or tripled the sales, and these are my numbers, and this is this. So I had all those things in my back pocket. And, again, just coming in really, really confident of the why. And also sometimes I had something loose and it didn't need to get there, but having a plan of like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z this year, which is going to, of why I deserve, this number.
The value that I'll bring sort of thing. Yeah.
Correct. And I think that's another thing that people always forget to do. It's like, it's one thing you could say what you did in the past, but what are you going to do forward? Right. So like, what's the value you're going to give to us for the compensation that you're asking for? But it is a really awkward conversation. I think I've been fortunate in the past to like have some of those conversations with like people I felt kind of comfortable with. But even at that, that's so uncomfortable. I think it's more uncomfortable having that conversation with somebody sometimes versus applying, to a company. You have no idea who these people are. I feel like it's easier to talk.
We have no dog in the fight. There's no relationships built with it.
Right.
I mean, anytime, because I've pivoted a lot, especially in like the last handful of years for my career, but it's been purposeful. Like I've done it for a reason. It's not just being reckless, but to your point, every single time with that, as soon as I'm going back into negotiations, because I don't know these folks, I don't know any of it. It's not dealing with an immediate manager. It's not any of that. So I'm just like, I play hardball as best as I can with it. But
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
So this was definitely somebody, beginning of a relationship, the last couple of
Hmm.
months building with this person. So it feels awkward, but it felt really good. And like I said, once you get those messages afterwards that was like, so pumped you advocated for yourself, you're
Right.
like, why haven't I done this for 5, 6 years?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little
It's
late to the
learned.
game, but yeah,
It's learned. I mean, if nobody's teaching you, then how else are you to learn that? It's just through like kind of stumbling through life, right?
totally. So,
Yeah.
definitely really excited about that. And, biggest thing is do your homework. And
Did you feel like, was it almost like, did you have to re-interview for this new gig in a way?
no,
Okay.
no, not really. It was really
Okay.
down to knowing that this is pivotal as far as my career growth. And they were advocating for me as well.
Okay.
Like,
So they were all like, this wasn't that you were personally being like, I want to kind of level up. They were like, no, we agree with you. We want we think you should be here. So let's start talking about what that looks like, kind of.
yeah. So it was kind of like I've gotten a lot of the like, where do you see yourself? But
Mm,
now versus years in the past, I was like, I want to be in this role. I want to go here. This is my goals, my path, my everything.
okay.
So again, just being really confident and not being wishy-washy. Well, I don't know. I always thought about doing this. And that's what I did in the
Right.
past when they're like
Right.
marketing or sales. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Marketing seems fun. And I'm like, well, I'm actually really
Yeah.
good at
Fun's not a great word. Yeah.
no. And I'm really,
No.
I'm not the most analytical person in the world, but those are a
Yeah.
lot of things that can just be taught. But I can build a relationship with a fucking hole in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
so, and that's the nature of like the business that I'm in is maintaining and holding those relationships. So,
That's
anyway,
great.
they could see that I obviously felt confident coming in and yeah, it was good and it worked out and I'm super excited and
So
yeah,
how does
ready
that
for
typically work then? We kind of touched on it for a second, but let's say in a year, right?
hmm
Your role and responsibilities evolve again, and
totally.
you're sitting there and you're kind of in the same boat where you're going like, not getting compensated the way for what they're asking me. Is it warranted within this space to kind of broach that subject a year from now and say, hey, we need to kind of sit down and talk about this again?
Yep. Yeah, we've already
Cool, that's great.
actually, yeah, and that was
Not for
another
us.
thing we kind of talked about where we
Yeah.
said, like, this is the starting point, right? Like, this is
Right.
like, we believe in you. We think you're going to do amazing. You've been doing amazing. Let's just get to where you feel confident and comfortable
Mm-hmm.
here. And in a year, if we are with the growth that we expect,
Mm-hmm.
let's revisit this conversation and see where we can go from there. So it's great.
Nice.
No
Yeah.
doors closed, every door's open.
That's awesome.
And, time will tell, but shit, a year goes by in a blink of an eye. So
It's quick, man.
I
Yeah. I got a
know.
2-year-old now, dude. Come on,
It's
you're telling me.
wild. Dude, I know. I mean, I said something, I think I was actually talking to Lexi, and she was like, I think she was talking about your wedding or something like that. And she was like, it feels like it was like a year ago already. And
Mm-hmm.
it was only a few months. Like, it's
I
so
know. I know.
crazy. I
I know.
mean,
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. You guys were all out here, so.
I know, what a bummer.
Yeah. Bummer you guys came, or bummer that it's over?
Yeah, what a fucking lame
What a
experience.
lame ass trip.
I
Dude.
gotta be honest. Well, here's the difference. So I loved Louisville. I thought it was
I
so
love it.
cute.
I love it. It's home. It's home.
No,
I mean,
I
I think,
loved it.
yeah. When I was 18, I was anxious to get out, and then and even when I came back, it wasn't. I came back because it was, taking care of my mom, sort of thing. So it wasn't
Sure.
even of like, oh, I really want to go to Louisville. But now being back, I do. Don't get me wrong. Like San Diego would be fucking phenomenal. New York, I miss it a ton. Like there's a lot of places that I would enjoy being.
You might
but,
like Jersey, Doug.
Well, we're gonna go out.
I know.
We're doing the New
Point
York trip
Pleasant.
in Lexington. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
It's really nice down there. I grew up.
All
I've
right.
got tons of pictures of little Alicia on all the rides at
Mm.
Point Pleasant.
What would you do if we ended up relocating to Point Pleasant, New Jersey?
I don't know. I don't know. I know. Lexi
That'd be-
always says that. I mean,
Yeah.
moving back to New Jersey is not a closed door. Nothing is a closed
Yeah,
door.
we were
And
talking about this, yeah, with Hillary.
yeah, nothing's a closed door. Who knows? I told Lexi too, I feel like within the next 5 years, there's going to be a shift. And more, and I know that seems like a big chunk of time, but within 5 years, I'll be still here or at this is where we're at. So
Yeah, you think it's 5 years of either we've left or I'm like, we are cemented, we're here.
It's going to be another year of like not thinking about it and just living my damn life. Especially when it comes to like new roles and things like that. Like, I'm a creature of habit. I need to get in a routine. I need to feel good. So like, I think it's going to be another year of that. After that, I would like to spend and not think about leaving this area at least for another like 2-3 years.
I mean, that's great. How much of that though do you think is just a personality trait of yours though? That you're always a little wanderlust on what's, because that is me, that is Lex, that is the amount of times that I've had people that, and it's a super passive aggressive way, but they are they're basically pessimistic, or they're kind of poking holes in the fact that like I move around and I transition. It could be career, it could be where I'm living, whatever. And I go, dumb. I realize that's who I am. I enjoy that in life. So like, no, I don't think it's a bad thing. That's a positive. That's me, being my truest self sort of thing. So for you, I think it's a little bit of the same, right?
A lot of it is also, I don't know how to make a decision. Excuse me.
Well, that's fair. I've already been holding down burps for the entire time.
I know. I'm like, what's happening inside of me? My salad's coming up. I like put something healthy in my body and my body's ready to explode.
A little vinaigrette on that salad.
But
I mean, I'm the same way. I have a hard time with certain decisions. I almost had a panic attack this week buying a fucking computer part that Lexi was like, chill the fuck out.
Just buy it. Just do it.
I can't, dude. Her dad. So Alan, her dad, my father-in-law was just here.
Yeah.
He's great. I love him. Great visit. Super nice to have him here.
Yeah.
But we ended up talking in the kitchen about this. So I have like, it's a self-loathing quality of I never feel I should treat myself to anything. And even though this purchase is a business expense, this is how I make money, is, doing this stuff. So by purchasing this, there's a ton of incentives, and it's obviously worked out for me enough financially. So, but I can't separate that. I go, oh man, Nick's purchasing this. I can't do that. No. What are you doing?
Which is hilarious. Because remember last week when you're like, how are you with money? And I'm like, I think I should buy everything for myself.
Yeah. You and I could not be more bookends on the spectrum with it.
I'm like, swipe free money.
No,
bye.
No. Only thing that I never bat an eyelash at is going out for like a good meal or grabbing a drink. Like I love the social. I love the social side of that, of like good company, good conversation. Let me go out. Let's just eat. Let's drink. I don't want to think about a bill. We're going to have a good time. If I have to buy new underwear, I will literally start a spreadsheet and it'll take me 6 months to commit to a pair of Calvin Kleins. Like that's how insane I can get on that sometimes.
That's hilarious.
It's a mess.
I get what you're saying though, because like it is so silly, because I will drop like $200 at a fucking dinner.
Easily.
You're not seeing it again unless you regurgitate it, so it's gone.
No.
But for me, I'm like, I don't know, should I buy? Yeah, like I need new bras, and I'm like, you need those.
Yeah,
I need those.
Those ham hockers are just falling out of your nut. Yeah, dude. No,
these almost 40-year-old suckers.
I'm curious, what is it for you that like is a pause for concern? Because I know mine is I for some reason look at purchases through the lens of this is the last I'll ever need of it. So like if I get in a couch, I'm like, okay, this would be the couch that check marks all the things that I need a couch to be, and I won't ever need a couch again, but anything like that.
That's wild.
It's bananas,
That's wild.
Dude. It's bananas. There's certain times I can get over the hump, and Lexi is amazing to support me, to be like, you're good. You deserve this. You're fine. Like, just get it.
Yeah.
but oh my God. I miss
No.
my mom. I miss all my fucking mom.
I just
Damn.
like buy things that like I probably don't need. You know, and it's like, oh, I need a new
Yeah.
work shirt. Well, what about the 500 fucking work shirts that you have hanging in the closet?
Yeah, you and this one back.
So
with
I
us as
think
well.
about it, but I do it anyway. And I'm like,
I mean, at least there's a moment of thought that comes into it where you go, man, fuck it.
yeah, it's like putting Botox in my face. I don't need to drop $500 every 4 months, but am I going to do
Yeah.
it every 4 months?
Sure.
Throw away $500 so my face looks smooth? Yeah,
Sure.
I'm going to
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, good
Which I
Lord,
know.
dude.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
What is Jerry between the two of you guys? Is he more conservative financially, or is he just like you?
Very conservative with his money.
It's always, dude. There's always black and white of those.
Time and
I
a
feel like, in
place, though.
relationships.
Jerry
Yeah, okay.
has not bought a new fucking anything for himself in
Mm-hmm.
5 years. The only
Yeah.
new shirts and new flannels he has is because I bought them and I was like, you really should wear like a different color. Like,
Right.
this is crazy.
Right.
But if we go on vacation, balls to
Mhm.
the wall. He'll get,
Sure.
dude, we went to
That's
San
his meal
Francisco.
out.
We went
Mhm.
to he doesn't eat out. He doesn't do any of
Mhm.
that shit. He goes skating every weekend. He doesn't give a shit about anything. He barely buys lotion for himself. But
Yep.
when
Lotion. That's what you
is that weird? Well, I meant
don't buy
like
lotion for myself.
I
Who's buying
meant-
lotion?
well, he does buy lotion actually because he's really into smooth hands and feet. I guess I put lotion because like women are, or at least myself, it's
Sure.
the face serum this and the lotion this and this
Yeah.
makeup. So like
Nah.
he doesn't have any of that shit. But when we like
I got the Suave shampoo plus body wash, and it is just done.
he'll use
Easy.
whatever I buy. He'll
Exactly.
use whatever.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like when we went to San Francisco for a long weekend, he got a penthouse at the Fairmont.
Nice.
I was like, and like rented a Porsche from Turo.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
who are you? What is
It's
this?
fun though. Again, that's his version of eating out for me. He's like, I feel comfortable
Yeah.
of splurging in this situation, right?
People are like, did you
but
win the
everything
lottery?
else-
I'm like, not a chance. But that's the thing. He's so frugal on a daily basis, besides, putting gas in his car, him and I taking care of, our home and the groceries and shit like that. But
Right.
no, I'm the one who's like, we need new frying pans again. He's like, we just got new
Yeah.
frying pans. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
on
Richie Rich over
I'm
here,
on
bro.
a fucking buying spree.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, now you got that lucrative new salary and bonus, and so you're just going ham. Bro.
Yeah, he wants to be a stay-at-home cat daddy. But
Ain't no shame in that game.
I was
dude.
like, I don't know what kind of raise you think I got. But it ain't that. I'll tell you. I tells you what.
Tell him to dream a dream, dude. That's all I
Yeah,
know.
maybe someday.
Yeah.
No.
Any stone left unturned today?
No, I think
You got to
this is
hard out
great.
though soon, right?
Yeah, I gotta go get
Yeah.
my fitness on actually. So
That's what we're getting out for. Nice.
Yeah. it's my, day 5 of the challenge. I'm gonna be ripped.
That's all good. I applaud it, dude. I
Yeah.
got on the Peloton for a sec, lifted some weights, so I'm right there with you.
Dude, gotta do it. But this is great.
I know.
And
Yeah, good seeing you, dude.
yeah, we will chat again
Yeah.
soon.
Till next week or two.
Bye.